G'day kids, thanks for tuning in to another Aussie episode. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button and that way you won't miss out on any of the new videos we put out, and it would certainly make my day. In the meantime, enjoy this video.
Ozzie, 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 oi! Ozzie is a friend of yours and he's a friend of mine.
G'day Ozzie. G'day Ozzie. G'day Ozzie. G'day Ozzie.
G'day kids, Ozzie here. Now who loves chainsaws and big cranes, heavy machinery and lots of noise? Well, I certainly do too, kids. Now I know you're going to love this episode because today we've come along to this place and we're going to cut down a massive tree. It's a problem tree, it's in the wrong spot and it needs to come down. We've been called in for the big job. Now, safety is very important, kids, when you're dealing with chainsaws and big machinery. So, as Ozzie always says, safety first. Let's get some safety gear on. We're going to need to have our safety glasses. We definitely need a safety helmet to protect our head. We need some earmuffs to protect our ears. They'll go on there in a second. And of course, we need a high-vis vest so that all our workmates can see us and know where we are. Now let's go and check out some of this awesome equipment that we're going to use today. Let's go. All right kids, so we've got all our safety gear ready. Now check out some of the equipment that we're going to use today. Look at all these different sized chainsaws. Look at this little one. Hey, that's a cool one. We've got a big one here and we've got a hedger here. We've got a little hammer, and check out this one. This one's called a pole saw. And look how tall that is. That's like twice the size, maybe 3 times the size as Ozzie. That is for reaching branches really high up the tree. What else do we have? Look at this. Safety as always, kids. If anything goes wrong, if there's any flames or fires, we've got a fire extinguisher to put that out. We've got a blower over here. Check out some of these ropes. Look how big, thick and strong that rope is. That is so that we can make sure that everyone's safe and we can get those branches from right up high. That's what these things are for too. You know what this one is? That's called a pulley. And a pulley is what you wrap the rope through so that you can lower those big, heavy branches from high up in the tree. Now take a step back. Look at what everything's sitting on. This is a massive crane or a cherry picker. And that arm goes right up high and someone gets to stand in that bucket and go super high up the tree and help cut down those branches. So that's the crane. Let's go and check out what else we can find. Oh! How good is that axe? Look at that. Oh, that looks sharp. Just gonna leave that one with the professionals, I think. Come on, let's go and see what else we can find. So the guys have already started. You can hear the noise in the background and see we've got some cones here and some signage just to let people know that this area, there's work happening. So you've got to make sure that if you come in here, you're protected, you've got your safety gear, and you make sure you're doing things properly and safely. Now check out, they've got a big truck over here, and this thing here, check this out. This is called a chipper, a wood chipper. And it's a bandit. How good is it? Come around this side. You can see all the trees, branches that have been cut down already, and they're sitting there ready to go in there. So when this machine gets turned on, that goes through there. It's amazing. It gets pulled in there and it goes, gets chewed up, turned into bark, and it gets spat out this big pole here, this big thing here, and goes into the back of the truck. Turns it into wood chips. So this is a very important piece of machinery when you're doing any kind of tree removal. It's also very, very dangerous. That's why it's got safety features. See these things here? We've got big emergency stop buttons. We've got these poles here you pull it this way to make it go, to make it stop. You pull it that way to make it reverse. And you've got this really important safety feature down here. That's what you can hit with your knee or your leg. So you go bang like that, and that'll stop the machine straight away. So that if anything's going wrong, you might get yourself in there, quickly press that, boom, it'll stop, and everything's gonna be safe. All right, what else can we find? Kids, look at this, a little excavator. Wow. Tell you what, this is gonna make our job a whole lot easier today because those big branches that we can't actually pull out using our own physical strength, that's going to grab the branches and drag them up there. So here's the excavator in action, kids. Look, it's got the grabber on the end. Just like in other Ozzie videos, we've described the excavator different parts before. That's the grabber, and see how he's grabbed that? And he's just dragging that tree right up here. And that wood chipper can just take that whole tree branch and just munch it up and spit it out the other side. It's unbelievable. That chipper can actually take 19-inch branches. So we're talking something like that big. You can just take it, the whole thing, into that, chomps it up, spits it out. It's getting pretty noisy, so I'm going to put my earmuffs on. Is that wood chipper? Look at that. Check this out. So just like that, kids, we had one man on one side and one man on the excavator working together to feed all those branches, the little ones, the really big ones, and they all just went straight into the chipper, woo, straight out the other side. How good's that? Okay, so kids, this is the project for today. This is the big tree, and it's a beautiful tree, but it's in the wrong spot, and it's only going to grow even taller, probably another 30 meters, and that's no good because all the houses around here are going to be in danger if this thing grows too much taller. So it's got to come down, unfortunately. So the guys are here doing all things very safely. You can see that all the branches have been taken down all the way up to where the man is up the tree. How cool will that job be? Hanging up there in the tree, chopping down the branches. So you can see it takes a few people to make this happen. We've got a guy down here on the ropes. We've got a man up in the tree. And what he's doing up there is he's going to wrap that rope around the branch, put it in a special spot, and then he's going to chop the branch. And then the man on the ground, he's going to slowly lower that tree branch down. The excavator is going to pick it up. Then it goes to the chipper, gets fed into the machine, and get taken away. And they do that step by step until they get all the branches down. And then they take the big trunk. We're going to see that a bit later. And just like that, branch by branch, the tree's slowly coming down. So see this thing over here, this is called a friction drum. And you see that Luke has fed the rope through that, and that is so that he can hold that super heavy branch, because if he was just holding the rope without that, he'd probably go up with the rope. It's too heavy. So this thing actually makes the branch a whole lot lighter, and he can just use his hands to feed that rope through carefully, and that branch will slowly come to the ground and safely. All right, so we've got Luke all the way up the tree there. Now, you might wonder how he got all the way up there. Well, he's not a koala. He didn't just climb it on his own. He did use a rope. Now, to get the very first rope up there, pretty amazing. You use this thing, right? And this is the other important piece of equipment. You pop this little ball thing inside here. This is the cannon. It's so noisy. So you pop this thing here, just like a little beanbag sort of thing. You pop it in here into the cannon, you pump up the cannon, you fill it with air, and you actually shoot it like a gun. It goes, whoo, shoots out the top, whoo, and if you've got really good aim, it'll go up and over a branch, it'll come back down, it'll come all the way to the ground, over the branch like that. Then you can tie the rope to this side, you pull the other side up, and the rope goes up and over the branch, and then Luke, who's up the tree there, can clip himself into the rope and then climb that tree. And that's what's keeping him safe up there, and that helps him get up there and do what he's doing. It's a very, very important job up the tree. All right, so once Luke's got that first rope up there, that becomes his rope that he secures himself to. Now, a couple of really important pieces of safety equipment for him that allow him to do his job is the harness, and that's what he clips that rope into. Then he's got some spikes to help him climb the tree, and he's got an ascender, a runner that he puts the rope through, and that helps him basically walk up the tree. So that helps him climb and get all the way up there. Now that yellow rope becomes his safety device the whole time he's up the tree. To cut down a tree like this is a big job, and it's a team effort. So to be the climber, the tree climber up the tree, that's Luke. It's a very specialised job. He needs to know how to climb the tree, he needs to know where to put the rope so that the branch falls the right way, and he needs to know how to cut. And if you have a look, you'll see him, he'll cut underneath, so it's an undercut, and then he'll cut on top, and that's so that when the branch falls off, it cuts cleanly and doesn't split, and it'll just fall nicely to the ground, and safely, of course. And then the other job, Lucas, he's the rope handler on the ground. That's a lot of skill and a lot of experience to make sure that that tree branch falls down in a safe area and doesn't hit any fences, any houses, any aerials. You can see that we're in a pretty tight space here, and Lucas is just getting him to land exactly where he wants him to land, and that's all through control. And the other good thing for Lucas is he makes sure that the butt of the tree branch is facing that way. So the leaves are out the back and the butt is out the front, so that then the excavator can just pick it up and feed it straight into the chipper. It's all very strategic, very clever, and a whole lot of teamwork. All right, so kids, this looks like a whole lot of fun. And I don't know, I reckon that'd be pretty good to be up there. But if you want to become just like these guys and climb trees and learn how to cut them down properly, to be a professional tree lopper, guess what it's called? It's called an arborist. So it's a very specialised skill that you need to do training for so you can become as good as these guys. No worries, boys, I'll get this one. Yep. Yeah, I don't need the excavator. I'm good. I got this one. I'm an arborist. So I've just got a piece of offcut of a branch here, and you can smell the eucalyptus. This is a Sydney flooded gum eucalyptus tree, and there is 736 different types of eucalyptus trees around Australia. How crazy is that? Well done, fellas. Great job. Woo! We're getting close. We're getting close. So, if you had a look up there, kids, what he's done is cut this bit out of the tree. This is called a scarf. So he cuts this wedge out so that then when he makes the cut, the final cut, the tree falls where this has gone out of. It's got that little gap, the scarf, and the tree or the branch or the bit of the top of the tree falls down that way. Now that tree without all the branches is called a barrel. Now he's just going to work his way from the top all the way to the bottom until that tree is nothing but a stump in the ground. So it doesn't snow in Australia very often. This is the closest we're going to get. It's a sawdust shower. So with all that sawdust falling around us, that's why it's very, very important to have our safety glasses on. And did you see how hard that log hit the ground? That's why it's very important to keep our distance back here, because if one of those logs hits one of the other ones on the ground, it could ricochet up, send wood flying everywhere. And if you have a look on the fence here, it sent mud flying everywhere. So safety glasses, very, very important. So I've just seen Luke come down. He's finally finished up the tree. He doesn't need to be up there anymore. He's finished all his cuts. The last cut that needs to be done is from the ground. So we're just going to do one big cut down here, pull the tree stump over that way, and then we're going to take those bits of the tree, send them into the chipper, into the truck, into wood chips, and then we're done. Done. So Luke's finished the last cut down here, and we see the excavators had the rope on the end of it. That's because this is a really, really heavy part of the tree. So too heavy for 3 people to pull. The excavator had the rope, and that was pulling it backwards so that it knew exactly where it needed to go. It just guided that tree right down into the gap, and the excavator can come pick it up and take it over, chop it up, and we'll be done. Imagine how heavy that thing is. That's why they need an excavator. Is there any more cuts? Are you done? We're done. We're done. I'm too late to the party. I was going to have a go, kids, but no. I've left it to the professionals. This is a very dangerous piece of equipment, all of these chainsaws. That's why you've got to be qualified, and you leave these guys to do the job, not for Ozzie. But I'll just show you these things here. These are the blades, and this is the motor. And then you start it by pulling that, okay? And then you press the lever here. You've got to press this one down on the top, press that one, and that's what makes this chain go round and round, or the blade, and that's what spins really, really fast. The motor makes a whole lot of noise, and when that spins really fast, it just cuts straight through the wood. Small one for the nice small branches all the way up the tree, and the big long ones for those big chunky sections of the tree. How much fun are these things? I feel like I want to go and become an arborist. What do you reckon, kids? Good fun, eh? So the crew have finished chopping this tree down. Remember how tall it was? It was all the way up there, and now it's all the way down here. But that's the job done for these guys. Now another crew will come in and they'll grind that stump and get it really low, get rid of it, and this tree will be gone. Let's go and have a look at that chipper. Let's go. Look at the size of that branch. Look at the size of that tree. And that chipper can fit the whole thing inside. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. It's like this big. It's just crazy. So the guys have packed up all the equipment, we've cleaned up all that tree, that huge big tree has been chipped and it's in the back of that truck, and that gets used to spread around council land. So nothing gets wasted here. How cool is that? So there you go, kids. I'm standing right here where this big tree used to be, standing about 30 or 40 meters right up into the sky. It had to come down because of safety reasons, but I was here today with Tree Serve taking us through the process of how to cut this tree down from top to bottom using the chainsaws, the chipper, the excavator, and a whole lot of skill. Kids, I hope you've loved this episode today. It's been super fun. We'll see you on another episode of Ozzie very soon, and until then, stay keen. If you haven't already, make sure you get a grown-up to help you hit that subscribe button. That way you won't miss out on any of the new and exciting videos that we put out. Speaking of new and exciting, if there's a video that you'd love to see Ozzie do, make sure you send us a message on our socials, on Facebook or Instagram at Ozzie for Kids. We'll see you again soon, kids. And until then, stay keen. Oh, and by the way, did you happen to find the hidden Ozzie icon in that video? Yeah, make sure you look closely because they're in every single video. That's right. Stay keen, kids.
Ozzie, 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 oi! Ozzie is a friend of yours and he's a friend of